I'm stoked to sit with our next guest because he's kind of my neighbor. And we also share an AMDA alumni status. But
Yeah.
that's not really the brag. It's more about from going to New Jersey to West End and now Broadway with his gorgeous voice and one of the most epic smiles I have ever seen. So here to talk more, all Pay the Writer and his new role as Young Cyrus. Please welcome Kyle Scatliffe.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful you made the time for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm gonna get right into some questions and then we're gonna play a little teeny tiny game that's gonna break more ice, and I'm so stoked. Tell me about your new role in Pay the Writer and what you are loving about your character.
So I'm playing the young version of Cyrus Holt, and Keith David, one of my favorites. Ooh, I've never met him. I'm very excited. He's playing the older version of Cyrus, and yeah, it's rather interesting. I get to play Cyrus at a time in his life where he is trying to become the writer that he's always wanted to be. He's just come back from the Vietnam War, and he's struggling to reconcile with what he had to do overseas for the war in order to survive being so young, thrown into a situation that is so large. And he comes back to New York wanting to write, and is going from publishing house to publishing house, trying to get his script to the publishing station. I don't know even what you want to call it. Trying to get the script to the publisher, so the publisher will publish said script. But it's not a script; it's a book. But he's writing a whole bunch of books, and he can't actually quite get past certain things. Of course, it's a time period where racism is very prevalent. So he has a lot of hurdles to jump over. But I get to have the first interaction with Bruston, which is really fun. I mean, Bruston's interaction is not fun because he gets the crap beat out of him, but my interaction with Bruston is great. It's a rather interesting character. He's so. I was thinking about this last night. He's so enveloped in the pain that he's going through in his life that he's using that pain as a way to as a way of motivation, but I almost feel like he's not sure if he would be motivated without it. It's very interesting, the way he talks to people, the way he kind of lets people close but not that close. He's very determined to get what he wants, but that determination also kind of comes with the as I talked to my therapist today about it, that determination definitely comes with that old adage of, like, if you become someone who goes into the arts, did you go into the arts because there's a hidden pain or like an underlying earthquake of emotion happening inside of someone, and they're trying to figure out a way to fix it, and they're trying to see if they could fix it using art. But it doesn't always, I mean, honestly, it doesn't usually work. Usually you have to work on yourself in order to fix that. But he's someone who seems to refuse to do that. He thinks the books will do it, but it's not really the best of journeys for him.
No. Wow, that was a great answer. I'm stoked.
Oh, thanks.
What are you most excited for audience to take away from Pay the Writer?
That's a good question, because there's a lot of stuff in there. Well, the first glaring one is the artist's struggle. The struggle of an artist to create, and not only to create, but to reconcile with themselves while they're creating, and sometimes even to admit that some of the things that you've gone through might be worth exploring in order to create, in order to give someone something that is palpable enough to change their lives or to help them get through a situation. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And sometimes we lack the courage to put ourselves on paper. I mean, when the Roe versus Wade decision happened, for instance, I had a lot of friends who were like, what do I do? What do I do? And I said, just start writing things. Not even writing in a way of like, you're writing for someone to see it. Just write it down, how you feel. Like, a lot of the time, I think a lot of people don't know what to do with their feelings. Sometimes they can be really overwhelming. Sometimes they can be really large. And just even the act of writing it from your brain to a pen to paper. I think what happens with that is that there's an admittance of reality when you do that, of the reality of the situation. While it's in you, it's just emotions, but there's an admittance of what you're going through when you do that. And then for some people, that's a good thing. And for some people, they run from that. So, I mean, I think in general, society in general could learn a lot from the struggle of an artist, because a lot of the times, a lot of people are struggling emotionally through things, but artists just happen to get a chance to get them out using their art. So there's that. There's also the different levels of love that exist. It's rather poignant, a lot of the relationships that he has throughout the show. May it be with his ex-wife, may it be with his best friend, who's also his agent, his literary agent, or even the French translator in the show, Jean-Luc. It's like there's a level of love that is permeating through the show, especially for a man who doesn't really seem like he wants people to love him, or he wants people to even figure out how to get around the things he may have done to them to get to the love. But each person in the show has a very specific kind of love for him. May it be admiration, may it be a friendly love, may it be the love of a partner, may it be the love of their kids, and how that kind of love can not only get bruised and battered and upheaved along the way, but how you can actually find a way to maybe not even fix it, but at least a way to have the people understand that you still love them regardless of what happened. And I think that's a thing that a lot of us have had to reconcile with over the past couple of years, with the pandemic, people losing loved ones. And what do you do? What is the end of your life supposed to be? What is that? What is that slow march towards death and like trying to change, and not even change, but trying to get to the end of your life with knowing that you've at least tried to fix things. And what are you after at the end of your life? It's a lot of questions about him just in general, and then the way other people react to things like that in their own lives. I think it's going to have a lot of cathartic beauty for a lot of people that watch it.
Oh, such a good answer. That was gorgeous. Thank you. You did not get these questions before this interview?
Nope, I didn't.
Nope, sure didn't. Okay. All right. So I love that answer. And I love that you combined almost 2 or 3 of the things that happened earlier on into what I'm going to parlay into a tiny game for us. It's going to be great. You have no idea. Nope, you're not ready. And
Nope.
It's going to be just as gorgeous as those responses. I can't wait.
Okay.
So it's so funny that I flubbed up your name in the very beginning. But it's also it's very interesting that it kind of goes aligned with a kind of tricky corner that you get caught up in sometimes. Burr's Corner. If you're not following Kyle on Instagram, he has some great takes. So we're going to parlay it into a game today and combine it with another point that you made. Seriously amazing company. You're going to be with Keith, you're going to be with Brian, Marsha, everybody, just a phenomenal cast. But that's not a first for you. You've been amongst some serious companies before, Les Mis, Color Purple, Hamilton. And then you also get these like epic backstage guests. So All right, I'm gonna go in hard with a game. I think I'm gonna combo into what I'm gonna call Kyla Russ's Corner and combine it with a Would You Rather. So basically, I'm gonna take a combined effort here. It's some conundrum stage scenarios with some epic players, and you have to decide between the two. The first scenario is you miss an entrance. Who's going to step up and help you out in the scene? Sally Fields or Cheetah Rivera?
Oh, I think Sally Fields.
Hey, Cheetah's going to kick her face right across the stage, but Sally's really going to take the scene. Okay.
Yeah, Sally's going to be like, where the hell are you? Cheetah's like, I got this.
Okay, number 2. You managed to sing in the wrong lyric. So who's going to save you on an improv lyric? Is it going to be Cynthia Erivo or Tenacious D?
Oh, I think it's Tenacious D.
Oh my God, if it's anything like how you sounded at 54 Below, it's okay. Last one. You're blanking on a line. Who's going to step up? Spike Lee or Emmett Smith?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Spike.
Yes, epic. Oh my goodness. Well, that's it for me because I clearly stalked you, but I would love others to stalk you. Can you give us your social handles and where we can follow you for more?
Yes, I only have one. I'm on Instagram. It's Sir Black a lot. Yes, it's hilarious. There's a story for that, but I won't tell you now. But it's Sir Black a lot, like a knight.
Yeah. Like a knight in shining armor in this fantastic interview. Kyle, we are not worthy. We're so grateful for your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For more on Pay the Writer, stick around, follow the page, and thanks for joining us.